So everybody have heard the name, that is the secularism. But what is the idea of secularism and from where does this idea originates? The secularism as an idea has originated from the West. And in a very simple terms, I can say that secularism means a complete separation between religion and politics in the state. Between religion and politics in the state. It means that whenever you will see this diagram, and if I am drawing that on one hand there is a religion in the state, there is a politics in the state, and then there is an individual that is the citizen of the state. So whenever I look at this diagram from the Western model of secularism, then it simply means that whenever we are trying to find out the relation between the religion and individual, then politics is completely absent. And whenever I am drawing the relation between religion and politics, then individual is completely absent. Whenever we are looking into the relation between politics and individual, then religion is completely absent. But the point here is that if you will see the background that why this idea of secularism originated in the West, so then you will find that I'm talking about the 16th century, 17th century, 18th century and 19th century. So if you will see the relationship between the church and the ruler at that time, so there was a tussle between the church and the ruler. Ruler were telling that whatever the church advocates to the people, people are following the bishop, people are following the pope, and people are not following the ruler. Sometimes what happens, whatever the ruler was telling to the people, people were abiding by the ruler, not by the bishop and the pope of the church. So in दोनों को ऐसा लगा कि if it will go like this, then neither the church will have the power nor the ruler will have the power with the coming time. तो इन्होंने एक कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया, और कॉम्प्रोमाइज में इन्होंने ये बोला कि what we can do in the Western country, we will draw a complete separation between the church and the politics. Wherever the politics will have its way, church will not have its say. And wherever the church will have its way, the politics will not have its say. इसी को कहते हैं complete separation between the religion and the politics. और इसी को अगर तुम यहाँ पर समझने की कोशिश करोगे, तो इसका मतलब ये निकल के आता है कि whenever we are talking about the relation between the church and the individual, then the politics should absent. And whenever we are talking about the politics and the church, then individuals should not have its say. Likewise, the same thing that I have drawn here. So this is called as the Western model of secularism, where there is a complete separation between religion and politics. But now if you will see in the context of India, then do you find that politics can be separated from religion? Do you find that religion can be separated from the politics? Can I say that we can lead a life without religion? Can I say that we can lead the life without politics? So no. So in the Indian condition, the condition is very different, and therefore this model of secularism will not work in the Indian condition, because religion drives our day-to-day lives. In each and every activities of ours, the religion is playing its role. And therefore, if you will see the concept of secularism in the Indian context, and then before the practical understanding of the secularism, just see that what does your constitution says about the religion. And if I will have to understand the constitution, that what it is advocating for the idea of secularism, then I can say that in the case of India, there are three schools of secularism. The first school of secularism is Nehruvian school of secularism. The second school of secularism is Gandhian school of secularism in India. And the third school of secularism is the Ambedkarite school of secularism in India. And therefore, if you will see, the provisions of Article 15, 16, 17, 18 and everything, that is majorly Article 15 and Article 16, then it reflects the Nehruvian school of secularism. I will tell you what is this. Gandhian school of secularism, if you will see, from Article 25 to 28 of the Constitution, then it reflects the Gandhian school of secularism. Likewise, Article 29 and Article 30 reflects the idea of Ambedkarite secularism. तो अब ये समझना है कि ये है क्या, ये आर्टिकल्स में ऐसा क्या लिखा है. For example, Article 15 is talking about that there should not be any discrimination, that it talks about non-discrimination in the society. And it also says that a state should not discriminate the citizens on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste. It means that no matter whatever religion are you following, the state should not make any discrimination. Likewise, no matter what caste do you follow, the state should not make any discrimination on the basis of caste. अब देखो, एक चीज तुम्हारे दिमाग में आया होगा कि आज तक तुम सेकुलरिज्म को ऑलवेज यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग फ्रॉम द लेंस ऑफ रिलीजन. यही समझते हो ना, सेकुलरिज्म को रिलीजन से ही समझते हो ना. किससे समझते हो सेकुलरिज्म को? पर ऐसा नहीं है. आज मैं इसको चेंज कर देता हूं. That in case of India, secularism is not limited to the idea of religion. देखो, सेकुलरिज्म एंड रिलीजन का जो रिलेशनशिप एस्टैब्लिश हुआ है, why it has been established like this? Because in the Western country there is a dominance of only one religion, that is Christianity. वहां पर उस समय कोई और रिलीजन नहीं था, and therefore they have talked about the relationship in the context of religion only. But in the case of India, the discrimination is not happening only on the basis of religion. It is happening within the religion also. So if you will see, within the Hinduism, there is a discrimination on the basis of caste. If you will see within Islam, तो ऐसा मत समझना कि मुस्लिम में कास्ट नहीं होता है. ऐसा बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि that there is no any caste within the Islam. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. तो Indian condition में if you will see, so there is also the segregation on the basis of the caste. That's the another thing, कि वो discrimination उस level का नहीं है. That discrimination is within the Hinduism, because there is a varna system in the context of the Hinduism, that is the Brahmins, Kshatriya and the Vaishya and the Shudra. This is the categories of the varna system in the context of Hinduism. That is not in the context of Muslim, but even there you will find that there is a discrimination. और अगर overall भी देखोगे तो there is a discrimination, there is a separation between Shia and Sunni, that is the two sects within the Islam. तो हर जगह difference discrimination है. So therefore in the context of India, whenever we will see the secularism, then we see the secularism between the religion and also within the religion. And that is the thing that the Nehru has talked about when Pandit Nehru has said that there should not be any discrimination on the basis of religion and also on the basis of caste. That is also an idea of secularism. तो सेकुलरिज्म को केवल रिलीजन के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखना बंद कर दो in the context of India. Yes, in the Western world, you can see in the context of religion only because they have only one kind of religion, that is the Christianity. The second thing, that is the Gandhian school of secularism. So Article 25 of the Constitution talks about that everyone have the right to profess, practice and propagate their religion. So it means that you belong to Sikhism, you belong to Buddhism, you belong to Christianity, you belong to Hinduism, you belong to Islam. Everybody have the right, that is the freedom of conscience and also freedom to profess, propagate their religion. So the Gandhian model of secularism is based on the Vedic concept of Sarva Dharma Sambhava. So whenever we are talking about the Sarva Dharma Sambhava, this differentiates us from the Western model of secularism. That is the Gandhiji idea of the secularism. But at the same time, Ambedkar has said, Dr. Ambedkar has clearly mentioned that in this constitution or in this setup, we should not think only about the Hindu, we should not think only about the relation between Hindus and Muslims. We should also try to give power and the rights to the minorities. And therefore, under Article 29, the rights have been given to the linguistic and the religious minorities. Under Article 30, the rights have been given to the religious minorities. What are the rights that have been given to the minorities? That is to have their own educational institution. For example, Aligarh Muslim University. For example, Jamia Islamia. So these are the institutes, that is the right has been given to the minorities that they can set up their own religion. And therefore, it differentiates our secularism from theirs, because it is the only country in the world, or it is the only constitution in this world who has given rights to the minorities also. So for us, secularism is not about the Christianity. For us, the secularism is about the equality in the matter of religion. And this thing has been said by Maitland also, and this thing has been said by the Supreme Court in Ayodhya case also, that the constitutional scheme that we have is to provide the equality between the religion. No matter to which religion do you belong, the state will try to bring the equality. But at the same time, one more thing I am adding here, by studying the different perspective of the Indian model of secularism, that the state is maintaining equidistance model, or a state is maintaining principal distance model from all religion. So whenever I am telling that the Indian model of secularism follows principal distance model, principal distance model. So what is the meaning of principal distance model? It means that state is not religious, state is not anti-religious. ऐसा मत समझना कि इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में स्टेट जो है वो एंटी रिलीजियस है या स्टेट इररिलीजियस है. ना ही स्टेट रिलीजियस है, ना ही स्टेट एंटी रिलीजियस है, ना ही स्टेट इररिलीजियस है. तो द पॉइंट हियर इज, तो स्टेट है क्या? तो स्टेट इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में it is maintaining equal distance from all these ideas. Neither it is completely religious, nor anti-religious, nor irreligious. It is maintaining principal distance from all these three concepts. The second application of principal distance model, if you will try to understand, then you can understand it from the perspective of the different religion. That is, the state is neither related, is neither near to the Hinduism, nor near to the Islam, nor near to the Sikhism, nor near to the Buddhist. It is maintaining an equal distance from all the religion. That is the idea that is called as principal distance model. So in this way, you will see that the Indian model of secularism is different from the Western model of secularism, and that's the thing that H.V. Kamath has also said in the Constituent Assembly, that whenever I say state, it doesn't mean anti-religious, it doesn't mean irreligious. What it means, that the state will try to bring equality in the matter of religion, and everybody will enjoy the equality in the matter of their religion. It simply means that if you are not following any religion, then also a state is giving you an equal respect, state is giving you equal freedom, the state is giving you equal right, no matter you are telling that there is no any God. So the point here is secularism is also about not following any religion. Secularism is also about not following any religion. आज के समय में बहुत लोगों से तुम मिलोगे तो वो ये कहते हैं that they don't have any belief in the God. They don't have any belief in the cycle of karma. They don't have any belief in the cycle of rebirth. उनको इन सब चीजों पे विश्वास नहीं है. तो ठीक है, नहीं है तो कोई बात नहीं. इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि स्टेट बोलती है भग जाओ यहां से. They are also living within the state. They have also the same freedom that is mentioned in the constitution. But whenever I am talking about this model of secularism, then one more idea comes in my mind. That is, as I have differentiated between the Western model and Indian model of secularism, I just want to mention the another word also for secularism. That is also, you can say, one kind of division on secularism, that is negative secularism and positive secularism. So, before telling what is negative secularism, I can say that France is the best example of the negative secularism, and India is the best example of the positive secularism. India is the best example of positive secularism. तो ये होता क्या है, क्यों हम ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि फ्रांस इज ए नेगेटिव सेक्युलरिज्म एंड इंडिया इज फॉलोइंग पॉजिटिव सेक्युलरिज्म? इसका ये मतलब है, in the France, no matter to which religion do you belong. For example, in the France, there is a law enacted by the French Parliament that the women cannot have hijab, women cannot have abayas. The Jewish people who are living there cannot have kippas. Jewish जो caps होते हैं उनको kippas बोलते हैं. तो Jewish kippas का, and at the same time फ्रांस में क्रिश्चियनिटी है, पर उसके बाद भी फ्रांस में यू कैन नॉट यूज द क्रॉस की जो वो पहनते हैं ना नेकलेस टाइप का, तो दैट दे कैन नॉट यूज. तो इट मींस दैट whenever I am talking about the negative secularism, then you cannot display your religion in the public. आपको पूजा करना है, घर में रूम बंद करिए और पूजा करिए. You cannot do any practice of your religion in the public. उन्होंने सब कुछ बंद कर रखा है. धीरे 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 करके 2004 से उन्होंने शुरू किया था, और आज के समय में they have completely put a ban on everything. A turban you cannot use in France. Nothing you can use that is related to your religion in the public. That is called as a strictest form of secularism, and also that is called the negative secularism. But whenever I say positive secularism means that you are displaying your religious symbols in the public. For example, in the case of India, tika you can use your caps, you can use your cross, you can use whatever religion do you follow, you can use it in the public. So we can also say that Indian state is not averse to the religion. It is not near to any religion, but it doesn't mean that the Indian state is averse to any of the religion. It simply means that the Indian state is following the distance from the every religion, and every religion have been given an adequate space to flourish. But state have the power to intervene into the matter of religion. अगर तुम वेस्टर्न मॉडल देखोगे तो स्टेट कैन नॉट इंटरवीन इनटू द रिलीजन. चर्च ने बोल दिया आज रात है तो सब बोलो रात है, स्टेट कुछ नहीं कर सकती उसमें. इसी का मतलब है कि कंप्लीट सेपरेशन है. बट इन केस ऑफ इंडिया, व्हाई इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट स्टेट शुड एंटर इनटू द religious symbols, the state should enter into the religious practices. तो देखोगे तुम कि many of the people belonging to the different caste groups are not allowed to enter into the temple. Likewise, Sabrimala temple, that is the women were also not allowed to enter into the Sabrimala on the pretext that the Lord Ayappa is practicing celibacy, and therefore women in the menstrual cycle should not enter into the Sabrimala temple. So at that time, the state is intervening and trying to bring the reform in the matter of religion, that no, it is like practicing untouchability against the women. Just like that, women are not allowed to enter into Haji Ali Dargah. So Haji Ali Dargah, that is in Mumbai, women are not allowed to enter into the sanctum sanctorum of the Dargah. So sanctum sanctorum tum padhe ho history mein? That is the Garbhagriha basically. So sanctum sanctorum, women are not allowed to enter. It simply means that the state should enter whenever and wherever there is a discrimination on the basis of caste, wherever and whenever there is a discrimination on the basis of gender. And that's the idea of the Indian secularism. That you can see in the context of UP Kasi Vishwanath temple, that you can see in the context of Tirupati temple, that you can see in the context of 38,000 temples in the southern India. That is, every temple is under the management of the state. That you can see in the case of Nathadwara temple in Rajasthan, that you can see in the case of Ajmer Dargah, that is the head of Ajmer Dargah. Who is the head of Ajmer Dargah? IAS officer, that is the collector of Ajmer, is the head of the Ajmer Dargah. It means that the state has intervened into the matter in order to bring the reform into the matter of religion, which is not possible in the case of Western model of secularism. It is possible only in the case of India, because our secularism is completely different from their secularism that suits to our political, to our social interest, and to our economic interest. This is the idea of the secularism in the Indian context. Write it down: secularism. The term secularism means all religions in India get equal respect, protection and support from the state. Full stop. Paragraph change. This idea originated in the Western world when they have talked about separation between the church and state. However, H.V. Kamath in the Constituent Assembly, H.V. Kamath in the Constituent Assembly had said, secular state is neither a godless state nor anti-religious state. Full stop. It has been further elaborated by the Supreme Court in Ayodhya case that it is clear from the constitutional scheme that secularism guarantees equality in the matter of religion, irrespective of the faith. Full stop. अब लिखो, एक सब हेडिंग डालो, other notable features of Indian secularism. First, religion in India cannot be the private space. Full stop. Second, Indian state follows principal distance model. Third, Indian secularism protects both intra-religious domination and inter-religious domination. मतलब between the religion and within the religion. Next point. The Indian model of secularism can be interpreted from the Vedic concept of Sarva Dharma Sambhava. Full stop. Next point. Indian Constitution provides for the rights to the minorities also. Next point. Justice M.H. Beg, Justice M.H. Beg has said, the secular state rises above all differences and attempts to secure the good of all citizens, irrespective of their religious beliefs. Full stop. And the last point. Indian model of secularism allows for state intervention in the matter of religious reform. That is, women are allowed to enter into Sabarimala temple. Full stop. Another way of distinguishing the model of secularism is positive secularism and negative secularism. Full stop. France is the best example of negative secularism, who follows the idea of religious neutrality. It means complete ban on use of religious symbols in public sphere. In public sphere. Full stop.